my girlfriend told her friends. Oh, poor guy. He can't even buy an engagement ring. All her friends started laughing. I stood up and walked away without saying a word. Then one day, she came to my office, and the moment she saw the scene in front of her, the smile on her face disappeared instantly. I'm 29, a software engineer at a tech startup in Seattle. My girlfriend Natalie and I had been together for 3 years. 3 years of weekend hikes, lazy Sunday mornings, and talking about our future like it was this guaranteed thing we were both walking toward. I loved her. I really did. Natalie worked in marketing for a boutique agency downtown. She had this tight-knit group of friends from college, Lauren, Brittany, and Samantha, who met up every couple of weeks for brunch or drinks. I'd met them maybe 4 or 5 times over the years. They were fine, polite enough, the kind of people who smiled at you but never really asked you anything about yourself. Every conversation felt surface level, like I was being tolerated rather than welcomed. We'd been talking about marriage for about 6 months. Nothing official, just those late-night conversations where you start planning a life together. She'd mentioned rings a few times, showed me Instagram posts, pointed out designs she liked at jewelry stores when we walked past them. I never said much, just nodded, smiled, stored it away for later. What she didn't know was that I'd been saving for over a year. Not just for a ring, but for a down payment on a house. My parents had passed away in a car accident when I was 25, and they'd left me a small inheritance. Nothing life-changing, but enough to give me a foundation. I'd been careful with it. I was working extra freelance contracts on the side, sometimes pulling all-nighters to finish projects. I was putting away almost 40% of my income every month. I wanted to propose with more than just a ring. I wanted to offer her a future, stability, a home we could build together. But I never told her about the money. I'm private like that. I don't talk about finances, even with people I love. My parents taught me that money makes people weird, changes how they see you. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have been more open. But I wanted her to love me for who I was, not what I had in my bank account. It was a Saturday afternoon in late September when everything fell apart. Natalie had invited me to join her and her friends at a rooftop bar in Capitol Hill. I wasn't thrilled about it. I'd been coding all morning on a particularly frustrating bug and was mentally exhausted, but she insisted. Come on, babe. Just for an hour. They really want to see you. Lauren specifically asked if you were coming. I doubted that, but I went anyway. For her. The place was packed. We grabbed a table near the railing, the city skyline glowing pink and orange in the early evening light. I ordered a beer. Natalie ordered a glass of rose. Her friends were already halfway through a bottle and working on their second. The conversation started normal enough. Work gossip. Drama at Lauren's office. Some story about Brittany's terrible hinge date with a guy who brought his mother along. Then Lauren brought up weddings. So, Nat, Lauren said, leaning forward with this conspiratorial grin, her voice slightly slurred. Any updates? Has he popped the question yet? Natalie laughed, but it was tight. Forced. I could hear the tension in it. Not yet. Girl, it's been 3 years, Samantha chimed in, gesturing with her wine glass. What's he waiting for? You're not getting any younger. I felt my jaw tighten. I took a long sip of my beer and stayed quiet, staring out at the skyline. I don't know, Natalie said, shrugging in that exaggerated way people do when they're uncomfortable. I think he's just not ready yet. Or he's broke, Brittany said, and all 3 of them laughed. Loud, obnoxious laughs that cut through the ambient noise of the bar. I looked up. Natalie was smiling, but she didn't correct them. She didn't say anything. Come on, don't be mean, Lauren said, still giggling. I'm sure he's saving up. These things take time, right? Saving up for what? Samantha said, leaning back in her chair. A ring from K Jewelers? One of those monthly payment plans. More laughter. Brittany was practically crying. She was laughing so hard. Natalie glanced at me, and I saw something flicker across her face. Guilt, maybe, or embarrassment, but she didn't defend me. She didn't tell them to stop. She just smiled and sipped her wine like this was all perfectly normal. That's when she said it. Oh, poor guy. He can't even buy an engagement ring. Her friends erupted, full-on cackling. One of them snorted. Another slapped the table. I felt something cold settle in my chest. Not anger, exactly. Something worse. Disappointment. The kind that sits heavy and doesn't go away. I set my beer down carefully. I didn't slam it. Didn't make a scene. I just stood up, grabbed my jacket from the back of my chair, and walked away. Babe, wait. Natalie called after me, but I didn't turn around. I didn't look back. I heard her friends still laughing as I pushed through the crowd toward the exit. Someone bumped into me, apologized. I barely registered it. I walked the 2 miles home. Didn't call an Uber. Didn't take the bus. Just walked, hands in my pockets, replaying the whole thing in my head. The way she smiled. The way she let them tear me down and then joined in herself. Like I was some kind of joke. I didn't answer her calls that night. Or the next morning. By Sunday afternoon, she'd sent a dozen texts. Natalie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Natalie, they were just joking around. You know how they are. Natalie, can we please talk? I feel terrible. Natalie, you're overreacting. That last one pissed me off. I finally responded Monday afternoon during my lunch break. Me, I need some space. Natalie, how much space? Me, I don't know yet. Natalie, so what? You're just going to ignore me? That's really mature. I didn't respond to that. She stopped texting after a while. I threw myself into work. My startup was in the middle of a series of funding round, and I was lead engineer on a major product feature that could make or break the deal. 14-hour days became normal. I barely left the office. Slept on the couch in the break room twice. It was easier than going home to an empty apartment and thinking about her. My coworkers noticed. My manager, Andrew, pulled me aside one afternoon. You doing okay, man? You look like hell. I'm fine. Just focused. This about Natalie? I shrugged. We're taking a break. You want to talk about it? Not really. He nodded and didn't push. I appreciated that. 2 weeks passed. Then 3. I started feeling numb about the whole thing. Maybe I'd overreacted. Maybe it was just a stupid joke and I was being too sensitive. But every time I thought about going back, I remembered the way she smiled when her friends laughed. The way she didn't defend me. The way she said, poor guy, like I was some pathetic charity case. Then, 3 weeks after the incident, she showed up at my office. It was a Thursday afternoon, around 2 p.m. I was in the middle of a code review with 2 junior engineers when our receptionist, Kyle, leaned into the open workspace. Hey, someone's here to see you, he said, looking uncomfortable. I looked up from my laptop. Who? Natalie. My stomach dropped. Tell her I'm busy. She's already in the lobby. And she said it's important. She's been waiting for like 20 minutes. I sighed and saved my work. Give me 5 minutes. When I walked into the lobby, Natalie was standing near the front desk, looking nervous. She was wearing the green dress I liked, the one she saved for special occasions. Her hair was done, makeup carefully applied. She'd clearly put thought into this. Hey, she said softly. What are you doing here? I needed to see you. You won't answer my calls. I told you I needed space. It's been 3 weeks. Her eyes were red, like she'd been crying recently. I miss you. I can't do this anymore. I crossed my arms. You humiliated me in front of your friends, Natalie. I know. I'm so sorry. I was drunk, and they were being stupid, and She stopped, swallowing hard. I didn't mean it. You have to know that. I would never intentionally hurt you. But you did. I know. And I felt sick about it every day since. I can't sleep. I can't focus at work. Please, just give me a chance to make this right. I was about to respond when the elevator behind me dinged. A group of people stepped out, my CEO, Richard, our lead investor, Catherine, and 2 of our senior engineers, both guys I'd worked with since the company started. They were laughing, shaking hands, clearly in good spirits. The investor, a woman named Catherine Wu who'd just committed $8 million to our Series A round, spotted me and smiled. There he is, Catherine said, walking over with her hand extended. The man of the hour. Natalie's eyes widened slightly. Great work on the demo yesterday, Catherine continued, shaking my hand firmly. She turned to Richard. This guy's the reason I signed. That feature he built? That's what sold me. If you ever lose him, you're in serious trouble. Richard grinned, clapping me on the shoulder. We're not planning on it. We just gave him a promotion, actually. VP of Engineering. Announced it internally this morning. Natalie's face went completely pale. Catherine shook my hand one more time. Congratulations again. Looking forward to seeing what you build next. The board is very excited. She glanced at Natalie. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. No problem, I said. They walked toward the exit, still chatting. The lobby went quiet. Natalie stared at me. VP of Engineering? Yeah, I said. As of last week. You didn't tell me. You didn't ask. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. I could see her mind racing, trying to piece it together, trying to reconcile the version of me she'd mocked with the version standing in front of her now. How much do VPs make here? She asked quietly. Enough. Enough for what? I didn't answer. Her eyes filled with tears. You've been able to afford a ring this whole time, haven't you? I've been able to afford a lot of things. Then why didn't you? Because I wanted to make sure I was proposing to someone who actually respected me, I said. Not someone who'd let her friends mock me and then join in. She flinched like I'd physically hit her. I was saving for a house, Natalie. A house. Not just a ring. I was going to propose with a ring and a set of keys. I wanted to give you everything. A future. Stability. A life together. A tear rolled down her cheek. Then another. I didn't know. You didn't ask. You just assumed I was some broke guy who couldn't get his life together. You assumed I wasn't good enough. That's not fair. You said it yourself. Poor guy. He can't even buy an engagement ring. You said that. Not your friends. You. She covered her mouth with her hand, sobbing now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was stupid. I was drunk and insecure, and I said something horrible, and I can't take it back. I felt a pang of guilt watching her cry, but I didn't move toward her. I stayed where I was. I think you should go, I said. Please don't do this. We can fix this. I'll do anything. You already did what you did. I can't forget that. So that's it. 3 years, and you're just done. You were done the second you decided I wasn't worth defending. She stood there for another long moment, tears streaming down her face, mascara running. Then she finally turned and walked out, her heels clicking on the polished floor. I went back to my desk and sat down. My hands were shaking. One of the junior engineers looked over at me. You good? Yeah, I said. I'm good. I wasn't, but I would be. Update 1 a week later, I got a text from Lauren. Lauren, hey. I know this is random, but I wanted to apologize. What we said that night was completely out of line. I was drunk and being a bitch. I'm really sorry. I stared at the message for a minute, then deleted it without responding. 2 days after that, Brittany sent me a Facebook message. Brittany, Natalie told us what happened at your office. I feel terrible. I didn't know you were doing so well. We were just joking around. I hope you can forgive us. I blocked her. Natalie tried calling twice more over the next month. I didn't pick up. She left voicemails. I deleted them without listening. Eventually, she stopped. I heard through a mutual friend, a guy I played basketball with who also knew Natalie from college, that she'd told her friends what happened. Apparently, Brittany felt terrible and kept apologizing. Samantha thought I was being dramatic and holding a grudge. Lauren didn't say much, but quietly stopped hanging out with the group as often. I didn't care what any of them thought. Update 2 months later, I closed on a house. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, big backyard with a deck, 10 minutes from the office. It was perfect. Exactly what I'd been saving for. I sent a photo to my brother, and he called me immediately. Holy shit, dude. You actually did it. Yep. How do you feel? Good. Really good, actually. You doing okay? With everything? Yeah. I said, looking around the empty living room. I'm better than okay. Proud of you, man. I hung up and sat on the hardwood floor, back against the wall, and just breathed. For the first time in months, I actually felt good. Like I'd made the right choice. Like I'd dodged something that would have destroyed me eventually. I thought about Natalie sometimes. Wondered if she was seeing anyone new. Wondered if she ever told her next boyfriend about what happened. Wondered if she learned anything from it. But mostly, I just felt relieved. Work got better too. The promotion came with a significant raise in equity that would vest over 4 years. I started mentoring junior engineers. Led the team through 2 major product launches. Catherine introduced me to other investors in her network. My career was taking off in ways I hadn't expected. I went on a couple dates. Nothing serious. A woman named Hannah I met at a coffee shop. A girl from a dating app who worked in graphic design. Both were nice, but I wasn't ready for anything serious yet. And that was okay. Ending 6 months after everything imploded, I ran into Natalie at a coffee shop near Green Lake. It was a Saturday morning. I was there to meet my brother for a run. She was in line ahead of me, wearing workout clothes and sunglasses. She looked different. Thinner. Tired. There were dark circles under her eyes that the sunglasses didn't quite hide. She saw me before I saw her, and for a second, I thought about turning around and leaving. But she walked over before I could decide. Hi, she said. Hey. How are you? Good. You. I'm okay. She paused, shifting her weight from one foot to the other. I heard you bought a house. Yeah. She nodded slowly, staring at her coffee cup. That's great. Really. You deserve it. I didn't say anything. I think about that night a lot, she continued quietly. What I said. What I didn't say. What I should have said. She looked up at me, and I could see the regret in her eyes. I was awful to you. And I'm sorry. I know I already said that, but I need you to know I mean it. I really do. Okay. I hope you're happy, she said, her voice cracking slightly. I really do. You deserve someone who sees your worth, who appreciates everything you are. I nodded. Thanks. She waited, like she was hoping I'd say more. When I didn't, she gave me a sad smile. Take care of yourself, she said. She walked away before I could respond. I stood there for a minute, holding my empty coffee cup, watching her disappear down the street. I felt something, not love, not anger, just a quiet sense of closure. My brother showed up a few minutes later, already stretching. Ready to run? Yeah, I said. Let's go. We ran the loop around Green Lake. 3 miles of fresh air and clear sky. When we finished, my brother asked if I wanted to grab breakfast. Sure, I said. We went to a diner nearby, ordered pancakes and coffee, talked about nothing important. Later that afternoon, I went home. To my house. The one I bought for myself. The one with 3 bedrooms and a backyard and enough space for whatever future I decided to build. I sat on my back deck with a beer, watching the sun go down, and I realized something. I didn't need her to see my worth. I already knew it. And that was enough.